Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at some more swing state polling as well as get an update on Biden and what's going on with his donors. So let's get right into it. First, we've got this poll that was done by Emerson, but it was sponsored by the Democrats for the Next Generation. That's a Democratic aligned super PAC. And they used 1,000 registered voters in the 6 main battleground states. So even though this was Emerson, some people might say that because of the sponsor, the results are going to be skewed toward Biden. There's going to be that concern, but sometimes the sponsor of a poll really does not actually affect the outcome. Sometimes we even see internal polls directly from a specific campaign, and they end up being pretty close. So go into it with a little bit of caution, but generally everybody knows Emerson. So the headline is Biden lags behind in all of the key battleground states by a 4-point average. And they don't have the usual Emerson layout with the graphs, but they say that the survey notes a qualified Democrat younger than Biden would likely beat Trump 53-47. I'm assuming that's also with the 6 battleground states. So in the individual states, we've got Pennsylvania. Trump is up by 5, 48 to Biden's 43. In Georgia, Trump also up by 5, 47 to 42. Michigan is very close. Trump is up 1, 45 to 44. Arizona, 4-point lead for Trump, 46 to 42. In Wisconsin, it's a 3-point lead for Trump, 47 to 44. And in Nevada, we've got Trump up by 6, 47 to 41. So Nevada is Trump's best state. Michigan is Biden's best state, but he still trails by 1. And they note that they did not include North Carolina in this polling. Then it says the total votes were 2,560 for Biden and 2,800 for Trump, meaning Trump had a 9.4% higher vote count. And because this polling sponsor is more focused on a younger Democrat for the next generation, they asked what the ideal age to serve as president would be. We've got 5.5 say in their 30s, 15.8 say 40s, 42.3 say 50s, 26.9 say 60s, and 6.8 say 70s. So they didn't even bother going above 70, but that's pretty much what I would expect. 50s, maybe 60s usually seems like the ideal age. Then we've got just 27% of voters in the swing states felt that Biden is not too old to be an effective president. I think that wording is a little bit weird. I would rather hear the percentage that do think he's too old, which I assume would be 73. Among those 29 and younger, only 18% felt that way, while 30% of those 65 plus dittoed that. You gotta love when they try to work dittoed into some of the polling here. Then we've got in terms of motivation, 17.4% of Democrats said their main reason was liking a candidate compared to 29.2% of Republicans who said the same. Meanwhile, 31.2% of Democrats said their motivation was disliking a candidate compared to 16% of Republicans who felt the same. I think that echoes the familiar sentiment we've seen time and time again, where Democrats are much more so coming out to vote against Trump than they are in favor of Biden. So that's a quick look at some more post-debate polling. So far, it seems like the morning consult polling we took a look at yesterday is more of an outlier. But there's even more here from Biden. We've got this story that says White House doctors offer explanation for Parkinson's visits. You might have heard about this, but there was a Parkinson's expert that visited the White House 8 times in an 8-month span. Of course, that's going to raise a lot of concerns, but they try to explain it by saying that it was unrelated and for military personnel. That could be absolutely true, but a lot of people are going to jump to the conclusion that they were actually taking a look at Biden. And it's also weird that this is coming out right now. We probably could have heard about this a long time ago, but because it's right now, it's another bad look for Biden. So after the fallout and some of the Democrats in Congress we've seen coming out and telling Biden to step aside, what is he actually going to do? Well, it sounds like he's not going anywhere. From Reuters, we've got Biden tells wavering Democrats he will not abandon campaign. His quote is, "The bottom line here is that I'm not going anywhere." And that might be him just trying to project strength, or he might be out of this by the time you watch the video. I definitely would not expect Biden to say he's not really sure if he's going to keep going. That would look completely weak and like he already has one foot out the door. But given the shaky support from some Dems, it's still hotly up for debate if behind the scenes everything is about to fall apart for Biden. And one of the reasons that could happen is because of the donors. So here we've got Biden's biggest donors left powerless to sway him to end bid. And this is the part I think most people on all sides are not at all going to be a fan of whenever we have to hear about what the super rich donors are going to do. I think the vast majority of voters are just regular people trying to get through their lives, yet there is this elite group at the top, and they have so much more money and influence than the rest of us. So when they start talking, it must be a big deal. And this is definitely not just a Biden thing, it's also a Trump thing. It's unfortunately what happens in politics. Money is not the only thing, but it's a big thing. And when there's a lot of dark money flowing into super PACs, it really makes a regular person's donation of maybe 10 or 20 bucks seem completely worthless. But down here, we've got a chart that shows the cash on hand at the start of each quarter for Biden and Trump. And this goes back to last July. Biden had an advantage the entire time. Up until May, it has flipped, and now Trump is on top. So could these donors have enough sway to get Biden out of the race? It's certainly possible. Then Kamala Harris might have access to those funds Parkinsons, so the transition could be smooth, but usually the donors get what they want. And I guess if Biden wants to rhetorically stand up to the donors, it might sound good on paper, but it also might be a little bit foolish. But one good thing I can think of that came out of Biden's poor debate performance, that's going to be, again, it sheds a light on who's really behind these campaigns. And here we've got the business leaders and billionaires who are pressuring Biden to drop out. Again, it's going to be on all sides, and you've got to have some kind of money to run a race. But I think to the average person watching this or reading these articles, they don't care about Reed Hastings or Abigail Disney. They don't like how they have extremely undue influence on politics, and they hate that they're going to funnel tons of money into the candidate of their choice with the ultimate hope of maintaining the status quo on their elite status. Down here they talk about more of the donors, and maybe some people don't care at all about this, but for me, I think it kind of leaves a bad taste. So everything is a complete mess right now for Biden. This is why I always say we just don't know what's going to happen. For now, it looks like Biden is defiant. That could easily change in a hurry, though. He's arguably down in all the swing states. He's had members of his own party call for him to step aside, and he's on shaky ground with a bunch of these donors. It seems like every month is crazier than the last. That's a bit of an update on what's going on with Biden, so let me know in the comments. What do you think about that polling that shows Biden trailing? How about that Parkinson's expert that was visiting the White House? What do you think about how Biden is going to be sticking it out? And how about the fundraising, including the donors? Does that level of political spending bother you, or you don't see a problem with it? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.